Are you wondering how much a Alumawood patio cover or pergola is going to cost you in Arizona in the year 2025? Do you have a spot in your backyard that you're thinking about putting a patio cover but you have no idea what it's going to cost? If so, you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to explain the ins and outs on pricing, on what drives the price up, what drives the price down, the different options. By the end of this video, my goal is for you to be able to make an educated decision on what to budget for your backyard patio project. Hi, I'm Eli with Chillax Patios. Today I want to talk to you about the pricing of Alumawood patio covers in 2025 and the factors that make it go up, the factors that bring it down, the different things that go into a patio cover. That way, if you're looking to do a patio cover in your own backyard, you can kind of get a feel for what you're going to be spending without even contacting us, but that way you can work on your budget. So the average patio cover is going to cost about 10% more in 2025 than it did in 2024. Our material price here in 2025 has already went up 11%. So it has not went up in 2023, it has not went up in 2024, but in 2025 it's already went up 11%. So our pricing has stayed flat, and then this year has went up 10%. So you're going to see, based on bids that you've seen a year, if you've been looking at this a while back or had something built a while ago, it's a little bit, trajectory is going up a little bit. So first of all, pricing primarily goes by square foot. So here at Chillax Patios, we have 150 square foot minimum. So anything under 150 square foot is going to be about the 150 square foot price. So just think about it. If you have a 12 by 12 patio cover, it's 144 square feet. It takes 4 posts, just like a 16 by 16, which is 256 square feet. So that doesn't really change that much. But so we're going to be talking about square foot pricing plus the options, right? So 150 square foot minimum. So for a lattice pergola, so you're looking at lattice. This was with the slats with filtered sunlight coming through. So with a standard 2x2s with 2-inch spacing, you're looking at $27 per square foot. Now that can adjust based on the lattice sizing. If you go with 2x3s, it's just a tad more, and if you go with 1-inch spacing instead of 2-inch spacing. So a 2x2 with 2-inch spacing at high noon is 50% shade. Now a 2x3 with 1-inch spacing at high noon is 75% shade. So that's going to be a few bucks a square foot more. So probably closer to the $30 a square foot, almost as the price of a solid. But a lattice, so $27 per square foot at 150 square feet, you're looking around $4,000. That's just rough numbers. But then you're going to add 4 posts if it's a freestanding. So footings down here with $300 a piece roughly. So $300 a piece will get you a standard footing. If it's a permitted footing, permitted structure, sometimes the footing's a little bit bigger, or sometimes it's special requirements or whatever. And then that can drive that price up, and extra inspections and all that good stuff. So a solid cover, you're looking at $30 per square foot. So 150 square foot, that's $4,500. $4,500 for a 150 square foot, or unless it's 200 square feet, you're looking at $6,000, right? Plus $1,200 for 4 posts, or if it's attached to a house, you only have 2 footings, then obviously that's only $600. And then also if it's a big span, you can be looking at a steel beam, $1,000 worth of steel. You can rack that up pretty quickly. Now an insulated solid cover, you're looking at a $40 per square foot, and that has the 3-inch insulated panels. The solid and the solid insulated, both on the bottom are going to look similar. The profile is a little bit different on the ceiling, but the insulated one comes in 4-foot wide panels, and it's a 3 inches of insulation. The non-insulated comes in 6-inch interlocking panels. So this is priced on 6-inch increments, and this one's priced on 4-foot increments. So if you have a 12-foot cover or a 13-foot cover, the 13 is going to be, closer to your 16-foot price. So just if you look at insulated covers, just keep that in mind that it comes in 4-foot panels. So if you're going to go 11 foot, you might as well go 12 foot, because that 1 foot is just going to get thrown away. So permits. Permits are $1,000. That is our cost, and sometimes we pay more than that for a permit. And that is, we pay a guy to do the CAD drawing, the engineering, the plot plan, submittals, and everything. And then that's usually about half of that, and the other half is the actually city, the fees from the city. So $1,000 for a permit. What's required to have a permit? So anything attached to a house or a building, or if it's over 200 square feet in size. Now, there's certain cities that differs a little bit. For most of Maricopa County, you're going to be looking at 200 square feet and bigger, or attached to a house is required to have a permit. Sometimes, if you have a little wooden structure or something there, a demo, it starts at $500. If it depends on what you got, you can get up over that as well pretty easily. But our average demolition job is probably closer to $1,000, but it starts at $500. Base plates, if you got a concrete slab, you're planning on putting your patio on a concrete slab, the base plates are $250 each, and that is a 8x8 plate with 4 bolts for each post. So that is engineered to take the place of a concrete embedded post. So, and then we already talked about the footings. So if you got pavers, you got to pull up pavers, put a footing down, or if it's just gravel, or if it's grass, whatever you got, you're gonna have to put a footing in the ground, and then cement the post is cemented right into the footing with rebar in it. So that starts at $300. We've had some where the spans are really big. Engineering makes for a pretty good sized footing, so that can even get up to $500. But most just standard footings are gonna be $300. Fan beam, that is a support in the structure to hang a fan from, and then that also includes running the wire through the structure, so that way you have an electrician hook up to both ends. So we charge $250. That's pretty much our cost on that. Can lights, we can install 4-inch can lights into your solid panels. They're $100 a piece, and then that also includes the light, hooking it up, and then running the wire through the structure. And then you'll have to have an electrician bring in the source. So outlets, $100 a piece there too. If we install outlets, run the wire through the structure to where your thing is going to be a privacy panel. So privacy panels are a lot of times on the west side. As the sun goes down, it'll shine up under your structure. So our privacy panels that we do mostly is a 2x3s going horizontal with 1-inch space. So it's 2 inches thick and then 3 inches tall with a 1-inch space. So the sun has to be pretty low for it to start filtering through there, and it really helps keep your space a little bit cooler. But that 1-inch space does allow airflow, so it doesn't really get it too stuffy in there. So you're looking at $20 per square foot approximately for that. So if you had an area that's 8 feet tall, 20 feet wide is 160 square feet. 160 times that, let's see, you're looking at $3,200 for a good sized area like that. And then the cantilever structures. Cantilever is any structure that has posts only on the one side and it projects out. So sometimes you're in a situation where the posts in the front are just going to be in the way, and you're going to want to do posts only in the back. So a cantilever structure is usually about $10 per square foot more than your whichever thing you're going with. So if you go with a lattice structure, $27 per square foot, you can add $10 a square foot typically, and that covers all your extra steel and the bigger footings and just the extra engineering that goes into that. Same with the solid or the insulated. Extra $10 a square foot should cover pretty much anything you're going to run into extra with it being a cantilever. So, and then a steel beam. Sometimes, when you're spanning between posts, in fact, we do quite a bit of steel actually to try to avoid putting a post in the middle. So sometimes instead of doing 3 posts, one on the end, one in the middle, that middle one is maybe right in front of your patio door or something, we can do a steel insert to span that. So you can run up $1,000 in steel on a project pretty quick. And then, so the design costs. So different designs are going to have different costs, right? There's going to be special things on different projects. Now these, we probably run into these things right here probably 10% of the time. But so what would, be kind of a specific or special cost based on your situation is going to include the angles. You got your curves. If we need double beams, sometimes the rafters, the spacing is a little bit different. Or the bigger lattices. I already explained the bigger lattices can, run it up a couple bucks a square foot. But so all these things adjust the price a little bit as well. So, but we probably run into one thing or another on this probably, like I say, 10% of the time. Other than probably the lattices. Lattice is probably a little bit more than that, but the rest of it, we don't really run into it that much. So your standard patio cover is just going to be, You know, you get your measurements, get your pricing, you're going to be real close. So what I want to talk to you about now is I want to show you projects that we've built so that you can get a visual for the price, and I'll show you kind of what they cost and what you're looking at on each of these structures. The first one here is a 16-foot by 16-foot lattice cover attached to the house with 2 posts and cement footings. And then, so the pavers had to be pulled up, the posts cemented in the ground, and then the pavers put back. You got 2x3 lattice with 1-inch spacing. And for something like that, you're looking around $8,500. So this patio cover here is a 15-foot by 42-foot lattice cover with 2x3 lattice and 2-inch spacing. So with 4 posts and cement footings attached to the house. Now that something like that will run right about $19,000. Your out the door price on something like that will be $19,000. So this one here is a insulated cover that's attached to the back of the house. And you're looking at a 16-foot by 16-foot solid insulated cover with a permit. With this, on that one is actually the town of Cave Creek. And then on that one, you're looking at right about $12,000, between $12,000 and $13,000 out the door on something like that. So this one here is a 12-foot by 12-foot cantilever. So it's got the 2 posts in the back, and then the cantilever's over the hot tub. And so 12-foot by 12-foot with the footings and everything on that, you're looking at $6,500 out the door. So this one here is a 12-foot by 24-foot freestanding structure right up against the back of the house there. So he did not want to attach to the back of the house, so we just did it with 4 posts. And then it's got steel in the beams to span between the posts, so we don't have to have posts in the middle there. So something like that will run you about $9,000. So with the 4 posts and cement footings, and then up next to the house, about around $9,000 on something like that. And then these are our prices. This is the price you're going to get from us here at Chillax Patios. If you know, there's other companies that build Alumawood patio covers as well, and their pricing is probably going to be a little bit different. Depends on what they're doing. So everything that we build with a lifetime warranty. So some of that's going to be into the cost, like additional steel beams. That is something that someone might say you don't need. Well, our patio covers are not going to fall down, right? So there's going to be different things where people are going to price things a little bit different. We all use pretty much the same material. Where the difference is going to be is in the workmanship, right? Now you might find a company that's quite a bit higher on that. I mean, they might have higher overhead or what have you. We try to keep our overhead pretty tight here at Chillax Patios. But to be much lower than us, usually you're either the math is not done right or there's a shortcut somewhere. There's 3 different brands of Alumawood material that we are comfortable using. So there is Alumawood, that's a brand, and then the next grade up, made by the same company, is called Elite Wood, and then there's another company called Duralume. Duralume has a very comparable product with Alumawood. Elite Wood is just a little bit better paint warranty, but there is another brand that is available. It is a fair bit less expensive. So if your price is going to be quite a bit cheaper than what you're seeing here, they may be using this other brand. We particularly don't use it. We call it beer can aluminum. It looks about the same, but it is not the same. The tensile strength is not the same. Everything is a little bit different, and we stay away from it completely. So there you have it. That's the pricing that you're going to see on Alumawood patio covers in the year 2025. So hopefully we covered everything. If you have any other questions, please reach out to us at 602-618-7759, or you can email us. Links in the description down below. So please like, comment, subscribe. We always got new videos coming out, so please subscribe so you'll be the first one to be able to watch those. And if you have any questions at all, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to answer any questions you got. See you in the next video.